Hi, I'm Jonathan. I am a family therapist and I'm an addictions counselor. And I want to answer a question that I get asked over and over and over by families who have someone in their life who is struggling with an addiction. Because they ask me, why won't they quit? Why is it so hard for them to stop? Why can't they just stop? Well, I really want to break that down, because if you have someone who is struggling with an addiction in your life, you really need to know this, and I'm going to show you why you need to know this. All right, I want to give you an example of a young man that I worked with, and he was absolutely an alcoholic. He was absolutely a drug addict. I mean, he checked every box. He met every criteria. And recently, before I met him, his girlfriend had just kicked him out because on top of everything that he had done and he had put her through, she could not stand the thought of their child growing up in a home with someone who was constantly blasted out of his mind, not able to work, not able to function, just laying around. So she set a boundary and she kicked him out. Now, he had just gotten out of detox and he's sitting in my office, and this dude looked sick. I mean, he just looked in horrible shape. Probably just a shell of the man that he used to be. You know, that guy that his girlfriend fell in love with. But I want you to listen to what he was telling me. He was telling me that he tries to quit. He said, I try, I know it's my fault, I know I got to do this, but I just can't. Every time I try, I get so sick. My stomach hurts, my bones hurt, everything hurts. And then I get panic attacks, I get anxious, and then I'll get depressed. I'll start thinking about all the things I've done, all the things that have happened to me, how screwed up my life is, and I just can't take it. It's like blowing my brain up. So I try to take walks, I try to meditate, all that stuff they tell you to do that's healthy for you, but none of it works. I don't feel any better. And on top of that, this guy that I just moved in with, he offers me alcohol and weed every night. And I would go to my buddies, hang out with my friends, but all they do is drink and smoke weed and other stuff. I don't even know if they'd want to be around me if I'm sober. So let's break down what that guy was telling me, right? Because an addict, they are physically, they are mentally, they are spiritually, they are relationally wrecked, right? They have done so much damage to their body, to their mind, to their self-esteem, to their relationships. I mean, everything just gets ruined. It gets wrecked, right? But all that sickness, all that pain, all that hurt goes away instantly if they use one more time. All that anxiety, all that depression, all that emotional instability, gone if I use one more time. All the memories about what I've done, all the memories of things that have happened to me, the reality of my life, I don't have to deal with that if I use one more time. I mean, maybe later I'll stop, but right now it's just too much for me to take, right? And then on top of it, they're thinking, well, I'm already a worthless human. I've already screwed it up. Everyone already hates me. I can just have relief this one more time. Now, to the average person, the logical person, we're like, your use, your drugs, your alcohol, that's causing all your problems, right? So just stop and things will get better. And that's absolutely true. But see, the addict's mind has been hijacked, right? They are only thinking about how to maintain their addiction, how to escape the pain, escape the discomfort, and they've done it over and over and over. They don't even need to think about it anymore, right? It's a horrible place to be in. And it's horrible also because it just keeps happening over and over and over, and life gets worse and worse, and those pains and worries, and they just get worse. All right, I want to give you an example that I use with my clients and the families that I work with quite a bit. Just explains what it takes to break an addiction. So I want you to imagine that addiction is like being stuck on the surface of the earth. And being clean and sober is like making it to the moon. Now, if you're going to go to the moon, you're going to need a rocket ship. And why are you going to need a rocket ship? Because the Earth's gravity is too strong for you to make it on your own. You ever watch a video of a rocket ship blasting off? It's quite impressive. all that energy, all that fuel, the flame, the smoke, the blast off is intense. All of that energy, right? It's just rumbling and going on, and it just moves a few feet from the surface of the earth. But then it keeps going, and it gets faster and faster and faster. But as it's going, it's also losing fuel, right? And if it doesn't have enough fuel, it's eventually going to get pulled back down to earth, and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a crash, right? So it needs a lot of fuel, a lot of energy, a lot of planning to go and go and go. But the spaceships eventually do start to run out of fuel. But then there's this other force that kicks in, right? And that's the gravity of the moon. So moon, clean and sober life, right? It's the good life, like I like to describe it. And when somebody gets a feel of that, when they've gone from that point of just their life being wrecked and horrible and just miserable, and they finally have a way to escape that and to experience what it's like to be sober, to have your body heal, to have your relationships heal, to have your life come together, and to be able to make money again and be able to have this good life. It is an amazing feeling, right? And it's like another force that starts to pull that person from the addiction. But in the beginning, they need a massive amount of energy, a massive amount of support and help to be able to break the addiction and get to that good life. And it really is a good life, right? To finally break that addiction. I've seen it happen many times. I've seen families restored. It's so amazing because they go from devastation, destruction, hopelessness. I mean, nobody thought that person could change. They didn't even think they could change. But they break that addiction. It is just a wonderful story. And it can happen, and it does happen. But here's the point to this whole video. You can't underestimate the effort it takes, how hard it is to break that addiction. Or your plans, your hopes, are going to be ineffective. They're going to come crashing down again and again. You know, when I'm talking to an addict and they're telling me, this time I'm going to change. I have to. I have to do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on my own, and everyone is going to see that this time I'm serious. And often they have their loved ones beside them going, yeah, go, you do this, you can do it. And I love that they're so serious, and I love that everyone wants it. But in my mind, I'm picturing that person putting on a booster pack, and they're like, I'm going to the moon. Yeah, you're going to get a few thousand feet up in the air, and you're going to run out of fuel, and you're going to come crashing down. And all the people who love you, who are looking up and then trying to catch you, are going to get destroyed when you crash again and again and again. And I don't mean to sound harsh, but when you see it happen over and over, you want the pain to stop. And I want you to know that it takes more than just the willpower. It takes more than, okay, I'm going to go to one group or one counseling session. Or I'm going to watch some crazy YouTube video that's going to give me the answer, and that's all I need. Right? That's not going to work. They need more help. They need to get into rehab. They need to get in treatment. Their whole life needs to change. Right? The people they hang out with, the way they think, what they do. I mean, it's a complete change with a lot of people, a lot of accountability, a lot of support. If you want to know more, you can subscribe to this channel. You can watch my other videos. I explain more about addiction. I explain more about why things happen and what you need to do to help yourself, to help your family. And also leave a comment, right? If you have a story that you feel would help, that you want to share, go ahead and do that. We would love to hear that. And make sure that you keep looking back for more videos, and I will talk to you soon. Hang in there.